enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hype list right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, the team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win.
Hey, it is Friday. It is a football Friday. Week 1 is here. And we're here for all of it. DJ Yokley alongside Anthony Ronald Hartwig, the 8-time best-selling author, the world traveler, Anthony Ronald Hartwig. And it is week 1. It's already underway. We got a whale of a program for you because them dogs are right here on the show today. Them dogs are coming out. They're barking, and they were biting last night to the tune of 40-7 over Shadyside. We're going to talk about all of that, all the scores. But, buddy, you had a front seat to watch all of this happen. How was your night last night?
It's a long night. I was at Canfield for volleyball. There was a freshman JV varsity tripleheader, but Louisville had some busing issues. They got there about 40 minutes late, so the freshman game started at like 5:15 instead of 4:30. And then so freshman JV varsity starts at like 7:45. And, of course, it's a marathon. The first 2 sets went into the 30s. So I think I was actually the last game live last night. I think I went past football.
Wow, you went past the Southeast game?
I think so. I think I did. I'd have to, but I was very close. I was looking at because I was updating on the broadcast the final scores, and I was like, every football game is finishing, and I'm sitting here in the 3rd set, and it went 4. So, yeah, it was probably the longest volleyball night I've ever had. But
you didn't go 5?
No, it did not go 5, but it was the first 2 sets went into the 30s, so it took a while.
Wow. That's what people kind of swept it under the. We didn't sweep it up. We were excited about football, but we also let people know there were volleyball and baseball games being had last night on the network. So we had 10 total?
10 total games, 5 football, and then I think we had 2 volleyball, 2 soccer, and Scrappers baseball. So
2 soccer. Sorry, I forgot about soccer in that moment. My apologies to all the soccer fanatics, the football fanatics out there. We had an incredible night last night on the network. Over 25,000 people tuning in to see whatever it was. It was great. And we appreciate you so much for tuning in on YSN. And certainly what a night we have tonight. I mean, I can't even fathom. And it's our company. We planned for this. And I can't believe what is going to happen tonight. We are prepared. We are ready. We are geeked up. Because we have a ton of games. Anthony and I will not be doing picks. It was the debut of zone coverage last night, which was, I thought, absolutely awesome. I thought it went incredibly well. We were well supported by our friends at Window Depot, the home team, and presented by Youngstown Clothing Company. We had the Niles and Howland shirts we were repping. I mean, it was cool. It was cool. Got a lot of good feedback from it. Now, that's not a finished product. We are going to continue to make it better and better and try to make it better and better every single week. We're excited for it. It's going to be oh, look who it is.
Oh, it's Big Take in the comment. Hot
Take is here. He says, I got my pulled pork and
didn't miss the third quarter.
That a boy. Attaboy. Interesting note last night, we learned a lesson, a valuable lesson. Greg McAfee and I, who were still there after the game, I know it wasn't the AD, but we were told, hey, why don't you guys pull around? Because we were in the parking lot. Like, we just wanted to stay out of everybody's way, brought all our stuff in. Rob had pulled in to set. He's got a lot more stuff than we do, obviously. And they were like, hey, why don't you come around? You sneak around the school, and then you come in this gate here. So we did. The YSN truck in. Greg ended up parking in regular parking because he doesn't have a marked car. So we're doing the show. We're in the middle of the show, and you can see like this.
Undercover cop. He's an unmarked car.
If the YSN, hey, if the red and blue pulls you over, we're coming. Be ready. Back to the story. In my marked car, we're doing the show. I'm on the far right side, and I peeked over, and I was like, those are a lot of buses that are backing up into that driveway. And it was, I want to say it was 7 buses and like the band truck. We were locked in. We weren't going anywhere. Nowhere. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm going to get comfortable, watch this football game. Because I was going to go back and watch everything from the comfort of my setup at home, watch the Bulldog game, the other 4 games as well. I was going to enjoy it. I was going to just kind of like, okay, I'm going to prep for tomorrow. I looked out. Poor Greg McAfee. Like, I'm going to ask him to move. I'm going to ask him to move 7 buses in a truck. He did. To his credit, he went over the gutsiest question I've ever seen. Hey, would you guys mind moving? I'm right there. And they just kind of looked at him like, what do you want us to do? So we had a front row seat on the fence to Niles Allen, which turned out to be, I think, probably the best game of the night.
Blocked punt to win it.
A safety, like pretty good. Pretty good. So, God works in mysterious ways, and he wanted us to be there last night, and we were to see it live and in the flesh. But lot to get to. You see the scores down at the bottom of your screen. 5 out of 6 rather teams winning last night. YSN teams winning last night. And the Swinehart stat of the day, which we were going to make a graphic for, but I did not have time this morning. I will tell you the Swinehart stat of the day. This is the first time since the year 2009 that 2 teams, East Palestine and Latonia, together have started with a win. Now, East Palestine started last year with a win, obviously, but it's been a minute since Latonia was able to get there. So these 2 teams that have been kind of locked at the hip through the conference play for such a long time, first time since 2009 that both these teams start 1-0. And I think that's huge because you talk about these small schools being able, having to find games, number one, that are competitive. And congratulations. We talked about Latonia yesterday going 3 hours away to get to Van Loo and then getting a convincing win and then traveling back. And then East Palestine, I think it was, and we'll ask Coach Dempster here in a minute, but I think it was about an hour and a half-ish finding a team competitive, obviously, and then showing up and showing out. I mean, 40-7 is pretty impressive when you think about it, and then 47-0 for Latonia. So, hey, congratulations, Bulldogs and Bears, on a big start to the season, and we're looking for more big starts to the season here from all these teams. I mean, 30-plus games tonight on YSN, so we're going to be cooking with gas here in about 7 hours. So we're looking at 7 hours of kickoff. So what was the big takeaway for you last night, Ant?
Well, one of the things that I saw is we got a little bit of everything last night. And usually every time you go to a scoreboard on a Friday night, you get a mix of blowouts, you get a couple of close games, and then you get those ones that were close, but they don't end thrillingly. So I think we got a lot of that. We got the Akron, Garfield, and Southeast game, which was close the whole time. Southeast scored a touchdown late to make it a 2-point game and couldn't get that last stop to get the ball back to try to win it. Jackson Milton and Howland both won on their last possession. Owen McDevitt for Jackson Milton running in that touchdown to break the tie and win 20-13. And, of course, we already talked about Howland getting the block punt for a safety to win 10-8. And then you had your share of blowouts as well with the ones we just talked about, East Palestine and Latonia, both taking care of business. So it was a good kind of mix of everything you're going to see during this football season.
And I'm interested because, I mean, there's East Palestine's been the chatter of a lot of communities and a lot of people saying, well, look what they lost and look what they lost. And I give credit where credit is due, because you look at what Coach Dempster and that coaching staff has been able to do, what they've been able to withstand. The standard is back in East Palestine, and being able to walk it back and say, okay, you can keep chattering, you can keep talking. We're just going to show up with our briefcase and handle business. And that's what they did last night. And I think a lot of people looking at these stories on YSN, they sit there and they go, oh boy, we thought they were done. We thought it was over. We thought it was back to the old days of East Palestine. Oh no, a new era has begun. They are reloading, not rebuilding. And I think to be able to talk to the head honcho, the CEO, the head coach of East Palestine, a guy that looked so cool in the picture that we put out on his promotion today. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the head coach, the East Palestine Bulldogs. Give it up for Michael Dempster. Coach!
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Walk us through last night. Obviously, a little bit longer of a bus ride to get there, but you get there and the boys handle business. What was it like for you with the prep all the way up to this, hearing some of that chatter that you guys have heard over the past, about 7 months?
First of all, it was an hour and 45 minutes. So
there it is.
Hour and 45-minute bus ride put us down there just prior to 5 o'clock. As far as, preparation, it was a short week for us as well, because we did not get a scrimmage film from Shadyside until Saturday.
Oh, wow.
And then we opened on Thursday. So they only played one scrimmage this year. Their second scrimmage was supposed to be, first scrimmage, was supposed to be against Bealsville. But their football program folded this season, so they lost that scrimmage. So we only had one scrimmage to game plan from. We didn't get that till Saturday, and we opened on Thursday, so it was a really, really short turnaround for us with a really long drive. So just very, very pleased with how the boys responded, how they prepared, and they were ready. They were ready when they showed up. And when you're breaking in, as you alluded to, 5 new offensive linemen, this is the first time, we've had a different quarterback in East Palestine in the last 4 years, and losing all those guys, those 10 seniors from last year's class who kind of, reestablished that standard that you spoke of. For a lot of teams that could have been detrimental to their success. But, with the implementation of the JV program a few years ago and our boys buying into that, our off-season preparation, it's a next man up mentality. So, the young men who took the field last night have been waiting for their turn for a very long time, and they were ready and they produced.
You're just stacking that adversity when you talk about, okay, we're replacing all these seniors. We have a long bus ride. We have a short week. We don't have a lot of info on the other team. A lot of reasons to not produce. But this team, like you said, took care of business, resilient. They really responded to that adversity. What do you think is the big key factor in having that mental mindset and being able to be locked in for this game with all the other things that happened leading up to it?
Well, we have kind of a saying, we don't make excuses, we find solutions. So that's what these boys did. As I said before, like they've been chomping at the bit for their opportunity. And some of them have been waiting 2-3 years for that opportunity last night. So they made sure that they were prepared. They made sure they were ready. We're from East Palestine. Nobody's been through more adversity than us. So anything you can throw at us, we just kind of brush it right off the shoulder and we move on.
I love that. I live that. From that standpoint, Coach, I mean, you kind of mentioned it. I don't want to gloss over it. I want to dig right in. You've had Owen Uriachi the last 4 years, obviously, as the head of the table. Now you look at Clark Rutledge, different styles, different guys, different quarterbacks, and a lot of people saying, again, look what they lost. Clark rolls it, throws 5 or 4 touchdown passes, runs for another one. For you, was it different? I mean, how much change did you have to do from a standpoint of knowing what you had with Owen and finding out kind of together with Clark and with everybody else what you have with old number 1 on the Bulldog jersey?
Well, let me first give credit to those 10 seniors last year. Yeah. Because they did set that standard. They raised the expectation, and they were great examples of how to be effective leaders. And so Clark having a year to work with Owen and be around Owen and kind of soak in some of Owen's leadership, his football IQ, those types of things, I think has really benefited him. But as far as our system goes, we run what we run. We are who we are. Yes, we'll tweak it year to year and we'll establish, what we're good at with this group of kids. And we're still learning that. We're only a game in. But the things that we kind of anticipated that we could do well last night, we did really well. And, and it goes back to the alignment of the programs where, Clark as the middle school quarterback is running the same system, albeit a watered down version of it, but it's the same system. It's the same verbiage. It's the same drills. It's the same teaching points, that he's had since he was in middle school. So, our guys now in my, year 4, the senior group, this is the only system they know in high school. As our middle school guys come up, it's the system that they know because they've been running it through middle school. And, and last year we began to implement it in the Little Bulldogs as well, just so that we can have these programs aligned K through 12. So we're all speaking the same language. We're doing the same drills. We have the same verbiage and teaching points. And in doing so, it creates a very seamless transition from each level. And I think that really showed last night.
As we talk about this specific game last night, obviously you guys set the tone early and had control of this game. As a coach, what were some of those plays and some of the times in the game when you really felt like things were really clicking and you had control?
I mean, I will be completely honest. We fumbled and lost the opening kickoff. So, I was really nervous from the onset that we didn't have control. But our defense really they flexed on a very short field. I think Shadyside had the ball inside the 30 after that fumble. So that game could have easily gone 7-0 in the opposite direction very quick. But again, our boys didn't fold. They they stepped up and they got the stop and got us the ball back. And for me, that was the moment that set the tone for the rest of the game.
Is it a challenge now? I mean, you've read the press clippings over the years, of everybody doubting you. Is it a challenge to keep kind of the heads down when it comes to focusing on the task at hand, which now you move into week 2 before everybody else on the short week, that you had in week 1, you get a little extra time, so to speak. Is it hard to keep them kind of not motivated, but like focused on, hey, we're going to take this 1 week at a time. Let's not look towards week 5, week 7, week 10, whatever it may be. And some of the people that are chattering or some of the press that are clapping either for you or against you during those times.
Well, just like we talked about a film this morning, you be happy with the victory you have, but don't be satisfied. And then we, reminded them last year, we opened the season with a win over Newton Falls in pretty convincing fashion too. And then we went up to Wyndham and got thumped. So we talked about, not getting complacent. We can't get complacent. The film is never as good or as bad as you think it is. And, as we go back and we looked at it, there were plenty of things that we need to work on. And, and we highlighted those things this morning. So, by keeping those types of things in perspective, letting them know that, we're far from perfect. There's a lot we have to do to compete on a weekly basis. And the focus, to their credit, is always there. They show up ready to work. They ask the right questions. They're always on huddle. They're always watching film, coming to us. And, last night that showed too. I love when my kids give me input as a play caller. When I have linemen coming off telling me what we can do. And Clark, he called a handful of plays last night that he felt were, advantageous to us based on the defensive structure that Shadyside was giving us. So, to see that maturation happen in week 1 was very exciting for me. But this group, I don't have to remind them of that. They're very focused. They've heard it. They know that's all they've heard. That, we lose all these guys. We lost all 5 linemen. We lost our All-Ohio quarterback. They know all that. But to them, it's about establishing their own legacy and continuing to build off what that senior class and what the program did last year.
For a long time, we've been talking about this program, trying to find a winning culture. We've talked about it with you in the past. We've talked about it with coaches in the past. And last year, it feels like you really had the sparks of a winning culture in this team where they expected to win when they took the field. How much are you seeing this group have that culture in the prep work, in the pregame, and of course the execution of the game, where they aren't showing up just trying not to lose, they're showing up expecting to win these games?
Yeah, I mean, this group coming up has been successful their entire career. They were successful as little Bulldogs. They were successful in middle school. In middle school they won the basketball championship. They're really good in baseball. They're really good in track. Like, it's just a really good group with these sophomores and juniors, especially because they're used to winning and they know what it takes to win. So for them, it's the norm. They show up. It doesn't matter what they're doing. I mean, if they're playing checkers, they expect to win, and that's contagious in a good way. So, for this group, it doesn't take much for us to motivate them, or we don't have to remind them like, we did when I first got here that you can't take the field and not expect to win. You won't be successful that way. But they show up every day with that expectation of winning, and Friday night was no exception, or last night, excuse me, was no exception.
Hey, we did it all night last night, so I feel I'm in that same boat. We
First
kept
time
saying
I've ever
tonight,
opened on a Thursday, so it's a little different. It's nice to give us a 3-day weekend to recover and to prep, though.
Right.
I will like that. I will like that as we get into the weekend.
You mentioned expect victory, expect to win. You never plan to lose, but you said, and we've seen it all across sports in America, that these kids, not necessarily yours, but you've seen them win all the way from when they're young, all the way through, and then they get to high school, and then everybody kind of catches up from a maturity level. You're playing freshmen or playing seniors and vice versa. You're playing all different ages. For you, as a coach, as a leader, how do you prepare these young men that have won their entire careers for some of these tough losses? Obviously, last year you had a few, including the one to Warren JFK. Are you seeing the maturity in that particular group, the freshmen going into sophomores, the sophomores going into juniors? Are you seeing the maturity in like understanding a loss does not mean it's the end of the road per se?
Right.
And how do you prepare that from a coaching perspective?
Well, I mean, that's just a weekly basis. You know what I mean? Every week there's good, there's bad, there's ugly. We'd rather win ugly than lose pretty every week, of course. But that's just, again, their expectation. And when they don't win, they don't get down on themselves. You know what I mean? We tell them all the time, it's okay to make mistakes. We want you to go out and play fast and understand that you're teenagers. You're young men, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. And that's why we are here, to coach you up and get those things fixed. But by taking it week by week, it doesn't matter if we win, it doesn't matter if we lose. We focus on what we can control. It's something that we talk an awful lot about, is focusing on the things that we can control. And then we move on to the next week. We don't dwell on the negative. We don't dwell on the positive. We're happy with what happened last night again, but we're never satisfied. We can get better, and we will continue to get better. So, when you have a winning mentality, you understand that sometimes you're going to lose. And losing doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And a lot of great things can still happen after a loss. And I think that team last year kind of showed that. And these boys have responded really well. In every loss that we had last year, we always try to take away the positive too. It's maybe a play here, a play there, and the game could have been completely different. And they understand that that's all it takes, is for them to play together as 11, for the entire game, to pick each other up, stay positive. And the more we do that, the better we are. So as long as they continue to do that, they understand that losses aren't the end of the world, and we'll continue to get better. But when you're sitting 1-0, that's easy to say.
You said in that answer, you're going to keep getting better. If you had to pick one thing that you wanted to circle this week in practice to improve on before you play Wyndham in week 2, what would you say would be the things that you're circling?
Ball security, number one. We put the ball on the ground way too much last night. And that's something we emphasize, but apparently not enough. So that's something that we're going to have to really spend some time on this week and make sure we're doing a better job of protecting the football. For me, that was my number one glaring thing. And the second thing was penalties. We had some really stupid, untimely penalties. And this morning during our film session, I talked about how, our offense isn't necessarily designed to be in 1st and 20, to be in 2nd and 15, to be in 3rd and 20. And we had a handful of those situations. And I made it, very, very clear to them that it's much harder for us to call plays when we're behind the sticks, and how much that puts us at a disadvantage, and getting them to understand that, we can't have penalties in crucial times, especially as we go down the stretch and we play some of the better teams on our schedule. we've got to be much cleaner with those two things. We've got to protect the football. We've got to play cleaner football and not have as many penalty yards.
All right, my last question to leave you with, because I've been wondering this for a while. The helmets have changed from year to year. Last year was white again. This year, something I've never seen outside. I think the Jacksonville Jags did it a few years ago. It's what a brown and orange mix with an orange face mask. What talk to me about who came up with that and kind of the conversation, I'm sure, with the helmet producer to make that. It's very, very unique. I like it.
Well, I mean, and that was the goal. You're talking about it right now. So, that was the goal. And not only that, it gets our kids excited. It's kind of something that, Jim Hall and I, my social media guy, him and I talk all the time about how we can brand us and how we can market us and how we can set ourselves apart from other programs, how we can continue to, when you finish year one with 14 kids, your number one priority is getting kids out. Well, how do you get kids out? You make it fun, you make it different, you make it interesting. So we have different jersey combinations. We have the orange, the white, the brown, the chrome. We've got the different helmets every year. We've got the skins, the chrome skins and the orange skins that we throw on the helmets occasionally, for big games. So just doing little things like that, I think, are an investment in your program. They help market you. They make it fun. Kids, they like to have fun, and they have so many different options that they could pursue in this day and age that you have to give them a reason to want to play football. Give them a reason to want to be here. And, it's not the only reason or the sole reason, but I know little things like that have helped us tremendously in recruiting and getting more guys out for the team and marketing our program, and to make sure that we look like a first-class program.
Unbelievable, Coach. Congratulations on the win last night.
Thank you.
Good luck. Awesome that you get a 3-day weekend. We're happy for you. Nobody deserves it more. Way to get the Bulldogs off and running here. Want to know on the season. We can't wait to talk to you next time.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Michael Dempster of the East Palestine Bulldogs. Thank you, Coach. Wow. And James Heath in the comments, who, again, YSN top shelf #1, and the South Range girls basketball coach now, talking about Coach Dempster putting on a clinic in coaching, and he's taking notes. And listen, across the board, if you're not walk away impressed from that interview and the belief that that guy and his staff have in that program, then you missed it. I don't know what you're watching, but you missed it. And I mean, that's incredible. The entire town felt alive this morning. It was a buzz because everybody knows what people have been chattering about. Oh, they're done. They lost it. I mean, he mentioned all Ohio quarterback. They lost all that, basically their entire offensive line. They lost X, Y, and Z. And okay. And then they show up and showed out. And, it's exciting to be excited about this program again. And the thing that people don't understand is when programs like East Palestine are good, the level is higher for everybody else, right? The level, the standard that you talk about is always going to be higher for everybody else. Because like them or love them or hate them or whatever you want to do to East Palestine, they make you level your game up, right? There's nobody that can look down. I mean, look what they did to JFK in the playoffs last year. They took JFK. I mean, they had a lead on JFK. Didn't win the game, but listen, JFK didn't walk away without their marks, right?
Yeah, JFK was getting real sweaty especially in the first half. Like, wait a minute, what is this East Palestine team, and why are they so much different than the teams we've seen in the past? And we saw that. I think we as sports culture focus way too much on what people lose. Like, oh man, they lost. Like, how many teams are we talking about this year? How chatter there is about what they lost. You forget what they keep. And Coach Dempster brought it up. They had a very successful youth program, JV program. These kids have been successful. They know how to succeed. They have a winning culture. They have the same coaching staff that is going to lead them. And they have the lessons they learned from the seniors of the past. And Coach Dempster talked about all three of those things. And it's culminating into a team that might not even miss a beat. Maybe it takes the next step in this football program because they have all those things they're bringing back from last year. Not just what they lost. Yes, they lost great players. Don't discount that, but focus on what they still have too, which is quite a lot.
Be happy with the win, but don't be satisfied with it. I'm excited because we've seen this group that are sophomores right now. We've seen them grow right before our very eyes on YSN. This group happens to be one of the first groups to ever have youth sports on YSN. So we have seen guys like the next guy we're going to bring on with buzzer beaters and put highlights out there for him when he was just a wee puppy. And now he's standing tall in the pocket, and he is doing big things in his sophomore year to the tune of 4 tutties through the air, 1 tutty on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Diesel, Clark Rutledge. What's
Thanks
up
for
there,
having me.
Diesel?
Thanks for having me. What's going on?
Buddy, you had to be sitting in the backstage just smiling from ear to ear, listening to your coach talk about you and this program and the expectations that he has for you. You've waited so long. You've waited in the wings, but you've certainly waited and watched. And you've played every position that you needed to do to get better, to make the team better for you. Stepping out there last night, QB1 for the first time as a starter. You look around. Did you take some mental notes? You take some mental pictures? You kind of keep that back of your mind?
I for sure took it all in. I mean, it was a special opportunity to be able to have. But we went out there and we did our job like we were supposed to.
We were talking about you yesterday on the show and how you've been kind of a part of this program for a long time. You've been a ball boy back in the day. You've watched this program through the ups and downs. How much anticipation have you waited for this moment just to happen, to get this chance to be the QB1 of this program?
It's been, honestly, since I was little, I've just been waiting so long to get this opportunity. And I honestly had dreams about it, if I'm being completely honest. It was pretty crazy just going out there and just getting that opportunity to do that.
You are on our intro for YSN. Every time that we run a game or a presentation, you're there with the layup and Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. You've been in the highlights, draining buzzer beaters, running off, throwing up number 30. I forget what the number was, flashing signs to the crowd. You've been a hype guy since I've known you. I mean, since John Cena showed up at your house, I've been proud of you. For you, dude, I know that you've got a special relationship with a quarterback that was making headlines a few years ago. You have been playing video games with him since you were a little boy, and now you're in his seat. You're in his chair at his table. Talk to me about your relationship with Parker Sherry, what it has been like and what it's like now with you guys kind of being able to live out that same dream.
I mean, he's been such a good mentor to me. He showed me everything I know about being a quarterback, if I'm being honest. Just from starting in, say, 4th grade, just for him showing me all the little things then, and then just keep on growing and keep showing me all the other things. I can't even explain to say how much of a help he's been to me.
You wear the number 10 in the scrimmages. Is there a reason for that? Are you showing a little bit of homage to
a little bit of love? Yep.
I imagine there had to be some communications between you and him leading up to this game. What were some words of wisdom that he shared before you took the field?
He just told me to take it all in. Yeah, I mean, it's a special opportunity. He said, right when we were walking out the locker room, he told me just to go out there and take a breath and take it all in. But just the way we led up to the week, we watched film together, we watched everything about this team, and I think that has been the most help to me.
There's been a lot of chatter. There's been a lot of talk about what the Bulldogs lost. Obviously, you got to sit for a year behind Owen, got a little bit of PT during some of those games, ran unbelievable touchdown, if I remember right. Southern? Was it Southern?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
All right, hey. I'm 40. Still got that memory going for me.
Yeah.
All right. So for you, what did you take away from watching Owen do his thing last year that you're implementing this year for yourself?
I mean, Owen was one of the best rushing. He was great. He ran the ball amazing. He threw the ball amazing. But also his leadership. He really led the team last year, and I think that has numbers to do with our success from last year.
We talked to Coach Dempster about the winning culture of this program and how it is kind of the sparks of a winning culture are starting to be seen in this program. From your perspective, what's it like kind of being a part of this team where you're in a locker room with a bunch of guys that go out there expecting to win and do the prep work that it takes to win?
Yeah, like you said, there was a lot of chatter about what we lost and all of that, but we did lose a lot. But I think all of the boys in the locker room really took that on the chin, and we came out and made that game personal to us last night to show everyone that we were still here and we were still ready to go.
Clark, I've always known you've been different. You've been different in many ways, in a good way. You never chop down people. You can talk trash with the best of them, but now you've matured into the guy that chooses his spots. You pick and choose your spots when to talk, and it's usually kind of a little bit of like chess, and everybody else is playing checkers because you talk to them in such a way that you're like complimenting them, and you have a lot of friends on other teams and in other communities, and there's a lot of respect from the outside in, and now there's a lot of respect from the inside out from your own community. What does it mean to you to be looked at as a leader your sophomore year on the court, on the field, the baseball diamond as well? Talk to me about, your expectations for yourself, not exactly everybody's expectations for you as a leader.
It means a lot to me. I mean, the teammates that I surround myself with, I couldn't do anything without them. All my boys play the same sports with me pretty much. They all do the same stuff, but all of them, they always make myself the best version of myself every single day.
One of the things I like asking young leaders that are put into leadership situations, you are obviously not the oldest guy in that locker room, but as a quarterback, you have to be a leader. What's it like to have the respect of some older guys and to be able to lead guys that have seen a few more things than you have?
It means a lot because they're able to pick me up when I'm down, and I can still pick them up when maybe they're not, when they're down, but it goes both ways, hand in hand.
One of the big questions I want to know, because obviously I've talked to Papa Bear a lot throughout the last 3 weeks or so as we get ready for the season. One thing that it really stood out to me is that you have supported this offensive line that you have in front of you, obviously for a number of reasons, because you like your health and safety at quarterback, but it's a situation where everybody talked down about this offensive line, and you've stood up and said, these are the guys that are going to take us to the next level. And you have a lot of belief in those 5 guys in front of you. What does it mean to them to have their quarterback talking about them in such a way?
All of these boys, especially, all they've heard is they've lost all the linemen. We don't have anything. They went into the new weight room and they put in so much work over the offseason, and they made so much improvement. It's honestly crazy. But they really took it on the chin, and they've put in a lot of work over the offseason.
At the next level, we've seen some quarterbacks give some pretty special gifts to that offensive lineman. We've seen golf carts, watches, shoes. If money wasn't an issue, what do you think would be the good gift to get to your offensive line?
I offered my center up. I offered it to the whole offensive line yesterday. I said, if our center Michael, if he doesn't have any bad snaps, I'll get you guys. Brad, my buddy, he told him, but he said you'd get them all McDonald's if he got in and he got no bad snaps and he had no bad snaps. And I'm pretty sure they just went to McDonald's actually right after film this morning. So,
pal, that's a lot of McChickens. That's a lot of McChickens.
I'll probably take them out to eat once or twice this season. But
attaboy. So yeah. What do you do to conjure up that ganja? I mean, the money. What do you do? Do you mow grass? What is it?
I did a little work down at the way station in East Palestine for the Noble Brotherhood, but other than that, I'm sure my dad wouldn't mind chipping in a little bit of money here and there to help feed my boys. Yep.
My last question for you is just simply, you're part of a bloodline. We're calling you the bloodline with you and Peyton, because the Rutledge name is going to be everywhere in East Palestine for the next few years. Talk to me about what it means to be able to share these moments with your family, your real family, not just the one in the locker room, to be able to share that last name and the success that goes with it. Because Peyton was in the backfield defensively as much as the Shady Side running backs were last night.
It really means a lot, especially, I mean, getting to play with him, but playing for that family name especially it does numbers. But I just go out there and play mainly for that name every single game and just keep that in the back of my mind. And even on my mom's side of the family, still with my uncle Rob Clark and my uncle Fred Hoagland, I play for them too. It's because, I mean, they had as much success at East Palestine, and I just hope to follow up right in their footsteps.
Who is the most competitive Rutledge of the group?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I don't know. It might be me. It might be me. Or Peyton.
Your sister might have something to say about that.
She might have something to say, but I think it might be me or her. Or Peyton. Yeah, Peyton's
you better say Peyton. He's on
Peyton's
next.
pretty competitive too, though. I don't know.
He's sitting there giggling on the couch because he's like, I'm better get this question. I better get this same exact question. Well, dude, we are incredibly proud of you. It's an honor to finally get you on here, do a player profile. First of many, because you are a 3-sport no, wait. Before we go anywhere, a 4-sport athlete. You're golfing now.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I mean, I just do it whenever I can. We had a few matches this week in the morning, and I could make it to, and it was just good to go out there and play with my friends.
Don't play me like an idiot. Why are you playing golf right now? I was told the real reason. Let it rip.
Oh,
free golf.
Oh, yeah. I do get to go for free at the country club if I'm on the time.
That's called journalism, pal. I dug deep for that one. Clark, we appreciate you so much. You've been such a great young man to watch over the years, and you still got so much rope left in your high school career. We're looking forward to everything and every accolade that comes your way. You're welcome here anytime. Congratulations on the big win, the big week.
You,
and I'm just guessing, wild guess, that we might be asking people to vote for you early next week. So congratulations. Rest up. Enjoy it as you get ready for Wyndham next week.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Clark the Diesel Rutledge. There he goes, dude. Can I be just honest? There's a lot of people, a lot of East Palestine people on the show in the chat today, which warms my heart because that's home. That's home for me. These kids that we're interviewing today, it's very special to me because a lot of these families were the first families that believed in YSN. The Rutledge family, number one. Every time I get text messages all the time about, hey, congratulations, thank you for doing this. They don't have to thank me. That this is my job, this is my passion, this is my dream. But the real, these kids are doing it. These, I shouldn't say kids anymore, but I know them as 4 and 5-year-olds. But they're doing it, and it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to interview these young men, these great young men and women of my hometown, because I've known their parents. I graduated with their parents and trick-or-treated with them. This is unbelievable. This is great that these great people are creating even better great people. So just wanted to say that, get that out there, because there's a part of that interview that I got emotional, right? That I'm sitting there as he's talking, and it's just like, wow, I can't believe how great this young man is growing up to be. And the Rutledges, they have my heart forever. I feel like I'm an adopted Rutledge sometimes because how good they treat us and me personally, my family. So thank you to all of East Palestine for tuning in today. We appreciate it. And we're not done yet, baby. We're not done yet. We are right on time. That never, ever happens. I could tell you that from the jump. But, Ant, how impressed did you walk away with Clark Rutledge, a sophomore who throws 4 touchdown passes last night on 7 passes, by the way, 7 completions. He throws 4 touchdowns and runs for another one. That's got to stand out to you.
That's efficiency right there. When you only have 7 attempts and 4 of them were touchdowns, that's what I'm talking about. But the most impressive thing, and this is why I asked him about it, to be a sophomore quarterback, that role you have to be a leader. You have to be able to lead the locker room. If you don't, they're going to know it, and the locker room's not going to play hard for you. We've seen quarterbacks at every level kind of lose that respect from locker rooms. We've seen it in the pros. We've seen it in college. We've seen it in high school. It can happen. So as a sophomore, to be able to go out there and lead the team, have the team's respect, be able to have the team play hard for him is really impressive because, he's got 2 more years after this to keep doing it. It's fun. It's going to be an exciting career for Clark as he goes down the line.
Dave Kibler, easy for me to say. Dave Kibler chiming in saying that this team has the ability to go 3-0 before even getting back into league play. That's again, one at a time. Let's one step at a time, but that's the goal, right?
I think Wyndham is a big revenge game, right? Because Coach talked about it last year. They started 1-0, and Wyndham kind of put them down to earth. So this time around, they're going to try to really set the tone and go 2-0 when they play Wyndham next week.
And Jack I was a big reason that to quote Coach Dempster, that thumping happened because he was a hard guy to stay. It didn't matter if you were East Palestine or the Cleveland Browns. He was hard to stop. He was a tough dude to put down. So we'll see. It's going to be a tough pick. We'll see what Wyndham does tonight. There's a lot of Drew Pasteur that is believing in the Wyndham Bombers. So we will see what they have to offer. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people with the eyes on that tape here tonight from East Palestine. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that everybody's got their, what do they call them, Tulafala ready, because we head down the bloodline to the head of the table. So make sure you got your ones ready. Get those babies in the air, Ooses, because from the bloodline, the Rutledge family, a guy that I mentioned was in the backfield, the Shady Side backfield, more than the Shady Side running backs last night. An absolute dog of an East Palestine Bulldog, one of the best defensive players you're going to find this year. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the captain, Peyton Rutledge. What's up, Peyton?
Hi, how you doing?
Dude, I saw you back there laughing at Clark for his entire interview. For you to watch Cuz, get his props last night, what was that like for you on the field, on the sideline, to be able to watch that happen?
I think it's amazing. I had so much belief in him going into this. Like he has practiced all this off season. Like we've been together this off season. To see him go out there and perform like he did last night, I'm proud of him. We talked about before the game, and I was just so proud.
We talked about your defense and just how impressive it was last night. Talk about it takes a mindset to be a good defender. You gotta want to hit people. You gotta want to put them down. What's that mindset like for you to be able to just have that kind of killer mentality when you're on the defensive side of the ball?
It's honestly something. My uncle actually tells me to stop catching the player. So I got a little chip on my shoulder going into every game and be like, oh, I'm gonna prove this guy wrong. But I think, to have the opportunity just to go out there and have that mentality, I'm just blessed. Especially with this new defense. I'm so psyched that our new coach, Coach O, he has such great plan. I love playing for this defense with these guys.
Did they let you be like Paul a little bit? Let you see the stuff and let you fly around? Because, dude, I haven't seen the tape yet, but 3 sacks last night? I'm getting word that 3 sacks last night for you to start a season with 3 sacks. I mean, you doing your best TJ Watt impression or what?
I've been trying. I practiced that. I was going to do the little leg up in the air, but I forgot.
I'm just glad you didn't say Myles Garrett because you're going to get booted. But honestly, I mean, 3 sacks last night. What were your expectations as now a captain? We'll get into that in a little bit, but the expectations for yourself. Did you walk into that game saying, listen, I want at least 2 sacks. I want to be able to disrupt the offense. I want to be able to do this. And then what do you have on the other side of the ball? Because, last year you were one of the key running backs for this team, is trying to get kind of under their feet under them from an offensive standpoint with Owen and the whole gang. What expectations did you have for yourself defensively? And then, offensively, how do you see yourself fitting in this year?
Well, defensively, I had the mindset of, I'm gonna go in there and just hit them. I mean, that's all you really gotta think as a linebacker. You gotta go in and hit them. But I thought about that game the entire day yesterday. Like, I was preparing for it. Like, I thought about it on the way up. Like, I thought about it all night, and like, I envisioned myself what I had to do, what I had to do for my teammates. And I was telling the guys all night, it's all about effort, especially on that defensive side of the ball. It's all about effort. It's if you want to make the tackle. So, I think I fit in with that effort part. I think I definitely can lead this defense. Um, and on the offensive side of the ball, you know, I think I am there a lot for blocking, and I'll do whatever I can to get my team that extra few yards because that extra few yards, that wins a game. You could like last night we had like 3 or 4 fumbles, but that effort and those few extra yards can get you those few extra touchdowns, and I think that's what really matters.
I love it.
Anyone that watches you or knows you knows that you work your butt off to get to where you're at. You're showing off the guns. You put a lot of time in that weight room, man. What keeps you driven? Because there's probably a lot of days in your career where maybe you're not having a good day. You don't feel like working out. You don't feel like putting in the film. What keeps you driven to keep going and keep putting in that work?
I think again back to that effort point, and especially Dempster. Like when he got here, he hounded us. I mean, it's all about weight room, and you can see that coming from me and other guys this season. And even on our own time, like I go to the gym and I take someone and you know we work for like that hour we're in there, and it's about going and putting an effort because without that effort, I mean, you can't do your job, and without that, I mean, you're just done. So I think it's all about effort.
Dude, that first off, you are answering these questions like a grown ass man. Excuse my language. I am used to you talking about popsicles and riding bikes. This is a education for yours truly. I gotta point out, I do love the cutoff T-shirt. It's a way of life in East Palestine. But you're repping. This is what Anthony. I don't think you can see this. He's repping Bulldog volleyball. This isn't Bulldog football, baseball, basketball. This is Bulldog volleyball. Pate, talk to us about your choice of T-shirts here, or cutoff shirts in this case, and why you're so proud of this Bulldog volleyball team.
Well, I actually got the shirt for free. They had like a youth camp, and I had a basketball practice that day. And John Bastarkey asked if I wanted a shirt, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a
Yeah,
shirt."
I'll take a shirt.
It's great
So-
marketing. Hey, Stark, great marketing, buddy.
I wore it to film today, and like Clark mentioned earlier, Brad offered all the line, McDonald's,
Yeah.
and I ended up taking them down. Lucky me. So, I mean, I just got here.
Did they
And-
at least give you some free McDonald's for?
I did.
putting on
I
Clark's
got a
tab?
10-piece. I got a 10-piece.
I told him that's a lot of McNuggies. Clark's gonna have to go out and mow some yards or something. Because now we're getting backs in there. We're getting. I mean, how many guys you fit in your car? Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about that because mom and dad probably not crazy about that idea. On top of that, I mean, we're getting some awesome messages, but one of the ones that I want to point out, your twin brother Parker, putting up the goat. You guys have an awesome relationship and obviously have for a long time. Being a twin, you guys are each other's best friends, I'm sure, from that standpoint. What is it like for you? You guys used to do everything together, but then all of a sudden there comes a time in life where you guys got to kind of go your own way and do your own thing. Mm-hmm. For you, how did you feel about that? And how do you continue to support him as much as he supports you?
He also does band. We
Right.
both do band. So that halftime show, I mean, we're with each other all summer because of band, like from band camp, from on, like, I mean, sometimes we get enough of each other, but he's actually in the room right in front of me,
And boy, Park.
watching this. So yeah.
Is twin telepathy a real thing? Like, does that really occur? I have to. We don't get a lot of twins, so we get to ask. So I gotta ask it.
On some things we do, some things we share like the same mind.
Mhm.
On other things, it's completely opposite though.
One of the things I wanted to talk about is your family, and as I mentioned before you hopped on here, your family means an awful lot to me. Your mom and dad are incredible people. Your dad, one of my biggest heroes for what he does every day for his real job, and who he is. Your mom is an incredible person, one of the most caring people that I've ever met. Cares about our family a heck of a lot, and loves what we do here at YSN. For you, what is it like to grow up in that household with parents that obviously love the hell out of you, but expect a lot out of you as you continue to grow into the great man that you are today?
Well, first of all, I think they're very thankful for you saying that. I mean, I know I'm thankful. I think this entire family's thankful that you do this and that that you can shout us out like that. I mean, we really appreciate it, but I think they push me. Like I said earlier, my uncle always tells me, "Oh, stop catching on defense." So I think they push me, and my dad is always out there at halftime helping me out, giving me a Gatorade, and my mom is always on the sideline ringing a cowbell. You can
Mhm.
hear her, my grandparents. I think they show up to everything. They show up the best they can, and I think I can get behind that anytime I need them.
Okay,
When you,
so hang on, Anthony, hang on. I'm gonna add on to this. This is journalism, my friend. It's called a follow up question. What traits from your parents, your family, do you admire the most about mom, dad, your brother, your uncles? I mean, talk to me about that, and you hope to kind of put that in your back pocket to be able to utilize maybe on the field or off the field.
I can recognize the resilience and the effort out of all of them. You know, every day they face resilience. Like my dad is a firefighter. He has to go out, but he's out there. Same with my mom. She goes out, she helps with everything. Even my brother, he's always back here supporting. And I mean, I just love that.
I was just gonna say we always need more cowbell, right? More cowbell. It's always good. Your family is obviously full of real life heroes. I don't know how into superheroes you are, but if you had to pick one that kind of resembles you the most, what do you think? What superhero do you think you fit into the most?
I wish I was Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man.
Always has. It's incredible, incredible. All right, you're in your junior season, which is incredible to me, right? So
Mhm.
they tab you with being a captain this year. Was it a surprise to you, and what does it mean to you personally to be the captain of the East Palestine Bulldogs before you're a senior?
Brock Irialgi came up to me, um, one of our coaches, and he's like, I don't know how many people really have got captain their junior year. And I think it means a lot because that means the guys respect me. And that means that they think I can lead them. And, that puts weight on your shoulders, but that's a good weight. I think that trains you. And I hope with the mentorship I had the year before with like Owen and all these other guys, that I can mentor these freshmen, sophomores into becoming better football players and becoming better men. Because I think you're on that field and with what you say really matters. You can't get down at your people. You can't get down at your defense, your offense. It's like, hey, go get the next one. Like, just communicate. Like, it's all about talking and showing support with each other. And I'm really glad that my guys think I can do that, especially as a junior.
My last question for you is: as you look into the legacy you want to leave on this program, yet your junior year, and then you have one more year after that, what are some things you want to stamp on this East Palestine program in the school system before you move on to the next chapter of life?
I would like to leave with championship, and I would like a defensive record. I think that'd be great, but I would love to get that championship because that's there forever. I mean that stays there. The rest the rest of this town's history, which hopefully will be a very, very long time.
We're proud of you, buddy. I think the whole
Thank you.
town's proud of you right now, but nobody beaming probably more than mom and dad, and probably Parker in the corner, who's probably watching you, just putting emojis into our chat. So appreciate the clicks, Park. Appreciate the clicks. But Pay, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm so incredibly proud of you and the young man that you become, because you're not exactly a talker. You're a walker for sure. You lead by example, but I'm proud of you for taking some time out today, getting it out there and being a true leader, true captain of this squad. Congrats on week 1. Go get him in week 2, pal.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peyton, the head of the table, Rutledge. See you, pal. There he goes. Unbelievable. What a show. What a show. This one was personal to me. So thank you for everybody who watched and everybody certainly who supports us, whatever community you're in. We want to do this for your community. It's just easier when you know them, since they were puppies, it's just little guys. And now we're showing off the 24-inch pythons, I guess, in the Rutledge family nowadays. So, just gotta tune up the band a little bit, the gun show. No, I love that he was wearing a cutoff shirt. That's my favorite thing ever. I wish I could wear a cutoff shirt, show it off a little bit. Show him these push-ups aren't for nothing.
No, you only get away with that when you're at Myrtle Beach. And everywhere else, you got to wear sleeves.
It's very true. It's very, very true. Don Pearson chiming in. Says, I got Crestview, Western Reserve. Okay, I guess Dom's doing a pick for his own game. Hey, Dom. Hey, way to go, buddy.
Not a homer at all.
That will never backfire on you. I promise. That'll never backfire. Aaron Walker chiming in, the head baseball coach of East Palestine, a dear friend, one of my best friends for a long time now. I'm sure he's proud of his baseball players and football season. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that I'm really stoked about is I think coaches are getting better at sharing kids in these small communities, which is good, because there was a minute there. Woof. It wasn't great. Yeah. Was not great. You were trying to get kids to specialize. They're still out there. Sharks are still in the water, but you got guys like Aaron Walker, Todd Kibbe over in Crestview, Bryce Franken, that, hey, let's share the wealth here. We only have so much of a pool to pull from. Why are we trying to specialize and be greedy? So love seeing it. Multi-sport athletes, the Rutledges, because EP needs them. They need them. So
absolutely. And it can't be easy for a coach to watch your kid that's playing in your sport play a contact sport like football. You're probably watching it like this, like, oh geez.
I have to imagine
every time they get the ball.
I've never seen it in person, but I've heard the war stories of Peyton's mom in the stands, kind of like this. And every time Peyton gets hit, it's like, get him out! Get him out!
Take him out! It's fine.
That's my baby. No. Meanwhile, Parker's probably putting emojis, in whatever chat he's in. The Rutledge boys are incredible, and to be able to watch them grow up, and Parker and Peyton and Clark, almost like Chris, his dad. I watched Chris grow up too. He's just a big baby too. But no, it's great to see. And we saw some of the family dive in. Here's Brian Rutledge, who that's Peyton's dad. It's incredible. It's hard. It's the bloodline. It's the family tree. So you got to be able to figure out who's who. Brian's a firefighter, does a lot for Columbiana County when it comes to the 911 systems, which Ant, personally, that's near and dear to my heart. Anything it's first responders or service, and Brian Rutledge is number one. He is A1 since day one. He's that guy, and he's raising. All right. He's raising some good kids. Yeah. So, all right. That is going to do it for our show. Outside of, we got to do one more thing. We got to thank our sponsors. Ant, you want to take this one?
Yeah, we'll thank our sponsors. First of all, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. If you are in the need of a new or used vehicle, or maybe your vehicle just needs some service, they have a great service department as well. They will take care of you. They'll go the extra mile for you. And like I said, we try to do the same thing on this show and on this network every single day.
And if you are also in the market for a new or used vehicle, and you're maybe you're in the Trumbull County area, maybe you're just cooking around that get-go, and you're like, man, I just saw a real sweet Toyota Tundra with giant YSN on it. Where the heck did they get that? Hey, have no fear. Just go across the road. Toyota of Warren, right there. Tino, Jimbo, all of them. They're there to take care of you. Whether you need service for your car, that you own a Toyota, go there. I walked in. I told you the story before. I'll tell you again. It was a situation where they were just going to give me everything. They were throwing the book at me. Hey, you need this, you need this, you need this. I said, whoa. Tire rotation, oil change, and I need some wipers. You know what, sir? Your lease is up. We got you. Well, you don't need this. You don't need this. Hey, honesty is the best policy always. I appreciate the grind and the sale and the hustle, but man, that was a lot of money. He showed me the bill. I was like, whoa, I don't know if I need all that when I'm turning this baby in April, because I'm going to get a new one. We're going to get a new Toyota Tundra. We're going to wrap it up again, and you're going to know when YSN's in the house. And thanks to our friends at Toyota of Warren and Greenwood Chevrolet for always supporting what we do. It's incredible. And we need more support. We need more sponsors and advertisers, because you're starting to see when we get a little capital, we put it right back in the company, and everybody's happier because we can cover more. We've got over 30 games tonight, Ant. 30 games tonight on ysnlive.com, not to mention the Audible Call, which you will be quarterbacking with the one and the only Eric Oates.
Woo.
Mike Ackelson is down for the count for 2 weeks. He'll be back triumphantly in week 3. But tonight, it's going to be a whole lot of clicking the channels. Anthony, keeping you and Swiney, keeping the scoreboard up, the standings page up. We have you covered from pillar to post tonight, tomorrow, and forever, folks. Go to ysnlive.com, and we are proudly powered electrically, and the electricity of YSN comes from one place and one place alone. And where is that, Anthony Hartwig?
That's JoeDickeyElectric.com.
Joe Dickey Electric. You head to DickeyElectric.com 24/7, 365, and tell them YSN sent you. It's time for the spark, baby. Zap, zap. Go.
My spot. I want to give an extra shout out to the scoreboard, because not just for Friday Night Football, it is active, and it is run by Mike Swinehart every single day. Volleyball, soccer, golf, tennis has been on there. If we get the score, it is up there. And if you want your scores, make sure to go to ysnlive.com/scores. You can find them. Brought to you by Burnett Pool, Spas, and Hot Tubs. But also want to give a really big shout out to Mike Swinehart, who makes sure that work is put in, and that scoreboard and the standings page, by the way, presented by R.L. Craig, that is up to date as well. So make sure to go check that out on our website. It's another great tool that you have on ysnlive.com.
Yes, all of that. Yes. I will also tell you that shout out across the board, because boy, oh boy, I'm sitting there next to Greg McAfee last night. Sam and DK went up into their press box. Rob drove over I told you about those buses. What I didn't tell you is Rob Johnson drove over the curb around all those buses. He doesn't have a Jeep or even anything that should be on a rugged terrain, if you will. But he was dead set and determined to get back to Louisville. And you guys coming? No, Rob, I have a marked car. I can't do that. People will know that I drove over an embankment.
We're out of here.
He's like, don't hit the tubas. That was the only thing. People are like, don't hit the tubas. I'm like, okay, the tubas must be expensive, because they're worried about a 4Runner or whatever he has, and a small SUV running over the tubas, not the $70,000 buses. Don't worry about those.
Tubas.
The tubas.
They're irreplaceable.
Get those out of the way. But I do want to send a shout out, because Greg and I were sitting there watching our chat go, which is fun. I've never really had the opportunity to do that. And Letonia winning their first game. And I got to tell you, man, hey Bears, way to go get one. Way to go get one. And, in the first time, I want to say Swinehart said 3 years, but there was like some dynamics around it. I can't remember the date of their last victory or how many losses it's been in a row. Regardless, to go out and get one, right? When all we've heard is they should just do 8-man football. They should just do this. They should do flag. They should just cancel the program, close the school. Hey, I'll say this. I didn't check this with Nick Safara, the AD, who we know and love. Bears are back. Mm-hmm. Bears are back. And it takes one win to silence all those haters. And proud of Latonia as a whole for not clapping back. We're not going to clap back at those haters. We're going to go and we're going to find a team that is competitive ball, and we're going to go beat the brakes off of them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you got a chance to see where they played last night. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I don't know that they had electricity. I do know they had electricity because they had lights
played
on.
in 6, right?
But they was like, it was dicey. Hey, it was dicey. But hey, sometimes in life you got to go do what you got to do. And I don't want to hear another word about 8-man football. I don't want to hear it because there's 11 kids at least on that team that showed up, that balled out, and that played. So let's all be a great community and say congratulations to Latonia on what had to be one of the toughest stretches in school history. When you're losing in football games like that, dude, it's got to be tough. Andy will talk about it. If you don't have a winning football team, it's hard to pass levies. Mm-hmm. And Latonia's been able to get it done and finally able to hoist themselves up a little bit, chins up, and say, hey, today's a better day. Today's a better day, and it's a better future ahead. Latonia, way to go. That's my spark. That's my spark. One last glaze of the well, great. We got AJ, who's here for the first. Oh, boy. And you know who returned, huh? This guy. Radar's Friday Spark. Scotty and I went 4-1 on the Thursday high school football picks, while Kristen Seidler went 3-2. I don't know about you. I didn't get those picks. Did you get those picks?
I think he might be picking 4 people. Scotty's in the chat like, I never even made picks.
Oh, here's a good one. Bobby Kimple, who we know and love. Shouting out the Bears. Shouting out the Bears. And that's why you're a leader. That's why you're a leader, Bobby. BK, the leader. One of the best for FCA. Thank you to everything that he's ever done for everybody in this, I don't know, planet. I mean, Bobby Kimple is a dude. He is one of the hardest working individuals, and he is doing it all for the glory of God, man. I love it. I love it. That will do it for our show today. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget, we have a literal ton of content on our website, ysnlive.com, including all the write-ups from last night's game. Hey, check out the write-up from Vince Tatey on Liberty. Boy, oh boy. We got some heavy hitters this year, buddy. We got the Greg McAfee featured story yesterday about how excited he is back. And then we got Vince Tatey last night writing Pulitzer Prize winning articles about our local teams. Hey, Vince, VT, you get it, man. You get some love. Hey, Greg, you get some love too. We appreciate you, buddy. You mentioned the scores page. Make sure you go to the scores page. It's the easiest way to get up-to-date scores. You and Mike Swinehart will be on it tonight right here from Athletics. Audible call presented by Athletics tonight at kickoff, 7 p.m., probably a couple minutes before if I had to guess. So just throw this guy. You don't need it. You don't need it. There.
Oh, there goes the remote.
That didn't end the way I thought it would end.
It's gone.
I threw it at the chair, and the chair's made of leather or something that looks like leather, and it bounced off all the way to the ground. And now I probably broke my Roku. It's just sitting there sad because now I'm like, how do I turn off the TV? This is going to be a problem. I blame Radar. He made me do this. Tons of games on tonight, and as always, you can catch us on social anywhere on YSN. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube are 24/7. All the games from last night are already on 24/7.
Yep.
So
Go watch them right now.
we're cooking. We are cooking. That's going to do it for the show. I've extended it long enough. I've done the tap dancing. I'm done being your clown. Make sure you're checking out a game tonight, folks. The weather's going to be beautiful. Go out, support these local athletes. If you played last night, go out and support your fellow local athletes. Have a great night. It is Friday Night Football, folks. Enjoy it because it goes fast. On behalf of Anthony Ronald Hartwig, the 8-time best-selling author and world traveler, my name is DJ Yoakley. This has been YSN Live. Anthony, may the sports be with you.
And you, my friend.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.